What would be a good tip for fishing and also for you guys that are married? This is going to be a good one. Good morning, guys and girls. Oh, my goodness. November 8th, 2 Thessalonians. Woo, that's a long word. 2 Thessalonians 2:13. 2:13. I love this one. Brothers and sisters whom the Lord loves. That's good enough right there, isn't it? God chose you from the beginning to be saved. God chose you to be saved before you were born, before you were conceived, before your mom and daddy got married. Brothers and sisters whom the Lord loves. Is that amazing right there? The God that made all of this that we're standing in, the God that made this nice, crisp, cold morning, the God that hung the moon and the stars, chose you from the beginning to be saved. It's really fun to watch the non-boaters at our pre-tournament pairings. You know, we have marshals in tournaments now, but for a long time we had 300 people in a BASS tournament, and you had some people in there that didn't bring a boat. They just came and paid their entry fee and they fished. We call them non-boaters. A lot of them brought boats, and you had to flip a coin to see whose boat you went in. But the non-boaters, they were there, and so if you drew a non-boater, he'd just say, what are we going to fish with? What I need to tie on? Where do I meet you in the morning? Jimmy, are you on a lot of fish? It's fun to watch the non-boaters at our pre-tournament pairings. Most have paid their entry money in hopes of drawing Denny Brower, Roland Martin, or another one of the really big-name superstars. You can see people's elation when they draw those guys. Some of them screaming, "Hey, all right, all right, all right." And also, you can see their disappointment when they get somebody that they've never heard of before. And a lot of times those people they draw that they've never heard of before end up becoming great friends, end up being a great partner, and a lot of times put them on a whole lot more fish than these two guys that I mentioned earlier, because they're not always on fish. You know, no matter how big a name you are, no matter how big a superstar you are in the game, you're not always on them. You go out there and try to figure them out. The first day of the tournament, a lot of times the guys are saying, it's another practice day. It's another practice day. The only thing is, on that practice day, whatever we catch, we get to weigh in. We should be overjoyed to learn that God has chosen us to go fishing with Him. Think about that for a second. God, Almighty God, has chosen you and me to go fishing with Him. We should also be very thankful, so thankful that we work extra hard to be obedient to Him. You hear that? To be obedient to Him. In order to please God, we must work extra hard to love one another, to forgive one another. No matter how tough life really gets, no matter how big one's problems become, just think, no matter what you're going through right now, God chose us. God chose you. God chose me. That fact is not only bigger, it's better than anything this world has to offer. You know, we've just gone through an election, and things are really crazy right now. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Basically, everybody's a little upset right now. Basically, everybody is going, "Oh, woe is me." Can I tell you, God chose us. The God that hung the moon and stars chose you and me. That's bigger and better than any election, bigger and better than being president or supporting the president, working for the president, personally knowing with the president, going fishing with the president. The fact that God chose us, the biggest thing that will ever happen in your life and my life, as long as we accept that invitation that He gives us. Here's our tip for today. This is one of my very favorites. This is one of my rules of thumb, by the way. I've got those rules of thumb that I sort of live by in fishing. Here it is. If it's important to the fish, make it important to you. If it's important to the fish, make it important to you. And I know what some of you guys and girls are thinking. How's that work in with life? Well, it's real easy, guys. If it's important to that woman that you live with, make it important to you. Now, girls, that can work both ways. That can work both ways. If it's important to your guy, make it important to you. I love beautiful fingernails. I think it look great. But I know how important those high-dollar fingernails are to my wife or to my daughter, that I just compliment them every time I get a chance. Sometimes I compliment them when they've grown out a little bit, and they go, oh my God, are you talking about, don't even look, don't even look, don't even look. These are horrible. I need to go spend another $50 or whatever it is. I have no idea what it costs. I don't want to know what it costs. But guys, if it's important to the fish, make it important to you. If it is important to your woman, make it important to you. And remember, I love you.